Tony Beets is synonymous with gold mining in the Klondike. Known as the King of the Klondike, Tony has built a storied legacy over decades, earning respect as one of the most determined and experienced miners in the region. His fearless nature, larger-than-life personality, and willingness to bet big on his instincts have cemented his reputation as a mining icon. However, this season proved to be Tony's toughest yet. His bold gamble to relocate his operation to a new claim at Indian River seemed destined for greatness, but a series of missteps and challenges sent shockwaves through his crew and his empire. With the season unraveling, Tony found himself facing not just financial losses but a challenge to his legacy as well. A gamble on Indian River. The season began with Tony making a high-stakes decision to move his entire operation to Indian River, a claim that held significant promise but also carried significant risks. The decision was characteristic of Tony's go-big-or-go-home attitude. If Indian River delivered, it could have been a game-changer for Tony's empire. From the outset, however, the odds seemed stacked against him. The claim was flooded when Tony arrived, with the waterlogged ground entirely unusable for mining. For weeks, the crew toiled to drain and prepare the site, losing valuable time in the process. Even after the ground was ready, Tony faced his next major hurdle, reviving a massive wash plant that had been sitting idle for 4 years. This 7-ton piece of equipment was the centerpiece of his operation, and getting it up and running was critical. But the task was far from straightforward. Reviving the wash plant, a Herculean effort. The restoration of the wash plant was a monumental undertaking. Every step of the process had to be executed with precision. The crew carefully lifted and bolted the 7-ton shaker deck into place, ensuring it was secure and aligned. Spray bars, each weighing 2 tons, had to be installed and tested. Every bolt, cable, and component required meticulous attention to detail. As if the sheer size and complexity of the machine weren't challenging enough, unforeseen issues kept cropping up. Midway through the rebuild, the crew discovered a flaw in the machinery that threatened to undo all their progress. The tension was palpable as Tony, known for his no-nonsense demeanor, pushed his team to their limits to resolve the problem. For weeks, the crew worked tirelessly under Tony's watchful eye. The atmosphere was charged with urgency, and tempers flared as setbacks mounted. But despite the challenges, the team succeeded in getting the wash plant operational, a moment of triumph in an otherwise grueling season. A catastrophic oversight. Just as Tony seemed poised to start mining, disaster struck. Inspectors from the Yukon Mining Authority arrived unexpectedly, conducting a routine compliance check. What they uncovered was a massive oversight that would bring Tony's operation to a screeching halt. Tony's water license, a crucial document for any mining operation, was not in order. While Tony had planned to mine 15 acres at Indian River, his license only permitted him to mine a single acre. This critical error left the inspectors with no choice but to shut down the operation entirely. The revelation was devastating. For Tony and his crew, it was a crushing blow after weeks of hard work and preparation. The financial implications were enormous, and the emotional toll on the team was equally severe. Many crew members had poured their time, energy, and hopes into the Indian River project, only to see it unravel before their eyes. A desperate return to Paradise Hill. With Indian River off the table, Tony had no choice but to pivot back to Paradise Hill, an older claim he had temporarily abandoned. While it was far from an ideal solution, it was his only chance to salvage the season and minimize his losses. Paradise Hill, however, was not without its own set of challenges. The site had been neglected for weeks, and restarting operations there required significant effort. Roads had to be cleared, equipment needed maintenance, and the water systems essential for gold mining needed to be restored. The crew faced a race against time to get the site back into working order. Despite their best efforts, the operation at Paradise Hill failed to deliver the results Tony needed. The gold yield was modest, nowhere near enough to offset the financial losses from Indian River. As the season drew to a close, the writing on the wall was clear. Tony's gamble had not paid off, and the once mighty king of the Klondike was left grappling with the fallout of a disastrous season. Parker Schnabel, the rising star. While Tony struggled, Parker Schnabel thrived. The young miner, often viewed as Tony's greatest rival, had a season that showcased his growing dominance in the Klondike. Unlike Tony, Parker's approach was methodical and precise. His meticulous planning and ability to adapt to challenges set him apart, and his operation ran with remarkable efficiency. Parker's success was evident in the numbers. By season's end, He had amassed a significant gold haul, reinforcing his reputation as one of the top miners in the Klondike. His rise to prominence was a stark contrast to Tony's tumultuous season, highlighting the differences between their respective styles. While Tony relied on bold gambles and instinct, Parker demonstrated the value of strategic planning and careful execution. His ability to stay ahead of the curve and make calculated decisions paid off, solidifying his status as a dominant force in the gold mining world. Lessons from a brutal season. For Tony Beets, this season was a humbling reminder that even the most seasoned miners are not immune to failure. The challenges at Indian River, from the flooded claim to the permitting oversight, exposed weaknesses in Tony's approach. It was a harsh lesson in the importance of preparation, adaptability, and attention to detail. Meanwhile, Parker's success served as a blueprint for the future of gold mining in the Klondike. His rise highlighted the importance of innovation, efficiency, and strategic planning in an increasingly competitive industry. The road ahead for Tony Beets. As the dust settles on a season filled with setbacks, Tony faces an uncertain future. His reputation as the king of the Klondike has taken a hit, and the financial losses from Indian River will take time to recover from. However, Tony is nothing if not resilient. Throughout his career, he has faced and overcome countless challenges, and there's little doubt that he will return next season with renewed determination. Whether he can learn from this season's failures and adapt to the changing landscape of the gold mining industry remains to be seen. One thing is certain: the Klondike remains a place of endless challenges and opportunities. For miners like Tony and Parker, every season is a high-stakes battle where fortunes can change in an instant. As the race for gold continues, only time will tell whether Tony can reclaim his throne or if the king of the Klondike has been dethroned for good. The season began with high hopes but quickly turned into chaos for Tony Beets, the self-proclaimed king of the Klondike. At the heart of his troubles was the mammoth task of reassembling an ancient wash plant, dormant for years. What should have been a triumphant return became a logistical nightmare, with lost time and mounting frustration turning the operation into a spectacle of mismanagement. To make matters worse, a mishandled water license left Tony confined to mining a meager 1-acre plot instead of the planned 15 acres. Months of planning, heavy investments, and grueling labor were suddenly at a standstill, leaving Tony and his crew scrambling for solutions. The setback at Indian River wasn't just a blow to Tony's profits, it was a blow to his pride. The veteran miner's old-school approach clashed with the increasingly complex regulations of modern mining. Despite their relentless efforts, the problems at Indian River forced Tony to shift his focus to his backup claim at Paradise Hill. But even there, progress was slow. Water management was a constant headache, and improvised fixes barely kept the operation afloat. The crew worked tirelessly to salvage the season, but every delay felt like a death knell for their dreams of hitting the 6,000-ounce target. In stark contrast, Parker Schnabel's operation was running like a well-oiled machine. The young mining prodigy approached the season with meticulous planning, cutting-edge technology, and a highly trained crew. His investments in modern equipment and mobile wash plants streamlined production, while advanced monitoring systems ensured maximum efficiency. From the very start, Parker's team delivered consistent cleanups, with every gold pan revealing impressive returns. Parker wasn't just surviving in the unforgiving Klondike, he was thriving. The differences between the two mining styles were impossible to ignore. Tony's reliance on brute force and old-school tactics seemed out of place in an industry that was rapidly evolving. His abrasive leadership style often alienated crew members, creating tension and morale issues that compounded the challenges they faced. Meanwhile, Parker's collaborative approach fostered a professional and calm environment. His crew operated with precision and unity, a testament to his focus on clear communication and mutual respect. As the season wore on, the gap between the two miners grew wider. While Tony's crew struggled to repair idle equipment and navigate constant setbacks, Parker's team consistently exceeded expectations. Every cleanup added to Parker's growing reputation as the rising star of the Klondike, while Tony faced a harsh reality. The mining industry was no longer just about brute strength, it was about strategy, innovation, and adaptability. By the season's end, Tony's operation had managed to scrape together some gold, but it was far from the target he'd set. The failure at Indian River left a significant hole in both his profits and his confidence. Parker, on the other hand, wrapped up his season with record-breaking cleanups and a clear sense of victory. His success wasn't just a personal triumph, it was a demonstration of how modern methods and forward-thinking leadership could transform the Klondike's rugged landscape into a gold mine. The challenges of the Klondike extend beyond the terrain and weather. Navigating regulations, optimizing operations, and maintaining crew cohesion are just as critical to success. Tony's water license debacle was a costly reminder of how the mining landscape is shifting, demanding a more meticulous and strategic approach. For Parker, the season reinforced the value of preparation and innovation. His use of data-driven decision-making and cutting-edge technology not only ensured success but also set a new standard for the industry. As winter descended and the mining season came to an end, both miners were left to reflect on their journeys. For Tony, it was a wake-up call, a realization that his methods needed to evolve if he wanted to remain competitive. For Parker, it was an opportunity to build on his momentum and plan for even greater success in the future. The Klondike remains an unforgiving battlefield where only the adaptable survive. Tony and Parker represent two sides of the same coin, one clinging to tradition, the other embracing innovation. As the snow fell and the claims grew silent, one thing became clear. The future of mining belongs to those who can navigate its challenges with strategy, ingenuity, and resilience. The next season will undoubtedly bring new opportunities and obstacles. Will Tony Beets rise to the challenge and adapt to the changing industry? Or will Parker Schnabel continue his meteoric rise as the Klondike's brightest star? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates from the world of Gold Rush.